All right, everybody, we're here.
Yeah, happy Friday.
Yeah.
Right?
It should be a big stream. I just want to set some expectations here. I just talked to Bryce, and we're having problems, and we want to get it right,
Yeah.
right? And so what's happening is we use the software. I've told you guys this story for years. We use software called Viral Sweep, which Bryce actually worked with the company to develop. We've been using it for, when was our first giveaway? 5 years ago.
Right.
And so the way it works is there are two sources of data. One is from the website, and so anybody who buys a product, every dollar they spend, they get an entry. They get one entry for every dollar, and so it like oftentimes people will buy 6 giveaway items and 9 non-giveaway items, and so the software has to be pretty, at least tagged relatively sophisticatedly. It's pulling from the tags
Right.
of all of the giveaway products.
Yep.
And then the other source are the losers who send in, the no cards.
Right.
Some of these morons will send 25 of them. You only get one.
Right.
So we've purposely, you're allowed to sort of write the rules to set up to where you can send in one free entry. There has to be a free option.
Yep.
So we have to enter all the Mrs. McGillicuddies and all the weirdos, cat ladies who are on the sweepstakes Facebook groups. And they'll send it in, and they have to do it very specifically. So we have to import that CSV. So we have to manually enter them, and then import the .csv file into Viral Sweep. Then Viral Sweep is a random number generator. We can click the button and get the right person. Well, something with, I don't know if it's our new theme or it's a recent software update to Viral Sweep, but Bryce has been working on it all week. It's importing all orders, which is like millions of dollars of orders. Yeah. And we sold $360,000 worth of stuff. So there's 362,000 individual entries.
Right.
And so you can do the math. If you spent $3,000, you've got a, what is that, 1 in 1,000 chance or something like that, or 1 in 10,000 chance to win. And so they're working on it now. We could be, 11th hour here at the end of this. I'd rather wait and make sure it's right.
That's right.
So in other words, I'm disclaiming here that there's a good chance we're not drawing a winner here today.
Right.
It might be Saturday or Monday. But as of right now, it's not working. And I want to make sure it works properly so we can properly randomly number generate and we can properly, select the real winner. So Divine Intervention is entering here for the winner. Had we been able to draw it right now, whoever does win wouldn't have won. Right?
That's true.
Right?
It's a random reset.
Right, exactly.
The butterfly is flapping its wings somewhere in the Amazon to change the
random
outcome.
Dysfunction, random screw up, which means that we have a different random result.
Right.
Which, if you believe in divine, whatever.
Well, yeah, the winner.
Predestination.
The winner needed this to happen.
Right. If you believe in predestination, all of this was going to happen anyway.
That's right.
So everybody's going to be real hacked off, but I don't care. I'd rather do it right and deal with the fallout than do it wrong. And I don't understand it because we've done 20 of these things and never had a problem. Right. And now this one, of course, it's but that's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess.
Neil says that you lost the Emira, but that's not true. It's in your garage.
It is in my garage. I want it out. I do need to finish the alignment. So it's driving straight. Alignment's good, but maybe I didn't lock the steering wheel down tight enough when we aligned it. So I've got to straighten the steering wheel out. And then I think, so I have the Exoneering throttle blip thingy. And so I'm going to talk to the winner and say, hey, I haven't put this in yet. I ran out of time because my garage was torn apart. I haven't installed it. Do you want us to install it or not? And so I'll give the winner the option, to put it in or not. But man, that car is freaking sick. I just washed it the other day, just cleaned it up. It's freaking money.
Yeah, the best wash, right? Everything's done.
And I can't put another mile on it because it freaks me out that if I, drive it into a curb or something, or somebody T-bones me, then I'm $365,000 on the hook, So I'd rather not mess with it. So I think it has 108 miles on it.
Uh-huh.
And so
it's perfectly broken in.
Oh yeah. That's you and your break-in bull crap.
I'm not a break-in guy. What are you talking about?
People just drive it.
So Spencer, thank you for the super chat. He says, with postcard entries, can't you just say you didn't receive them, go to the mailbox and make them disappear? You
I want to do
that
the
legally.
right. I want to do the right
illegal.
thing. If I'm ever audited, we have them all right. And so what we will do is it's very specifically written in the rules. And so if somebody janks it together, or they don't send it properly, or they don't write legibly, my mom goes through them all and she'll punt them. But again, you only get one.
Right.
And then I saw some people in some other group were like, how dare they do that? That's disingenuous that you only get one. Well, everybody knows what this is for. This is to include the audience who care, include people who want to win. If Pam McRae in Stark, Florida wins this thing, and I drive up this deliver the car, and she walks out with a tennis ball walker. This is nonsense. The only good thing for me is that if somebody like that wins it, maybe I can talk them into just selling it to me for 20 grand.
Yeah, 50 cents on the dollar.
Yeah, hey, would you rather have 20 grand or the car?
Yeah.
And then maybe we can negotiate. Because they don't want the car.
Right.
They just want the money. These are lottery players. These are people who have lost in life.
Yeah.
And they're
hoping.
They've been buying warranties on everything they buy, and they've been playing the lottery and playing 50-50s and playing bingo and trying to win. And they've won a couple of times, and they're playing slots. They've won a couple of times in their life, but they're still net negative. Essentially, if they would have invested all that energy in being better, not sucking, then it would have been smarter.
And so Noel asked, JB4 installed? ?
No, I didn't buy it.
I think you're having trouble getting it, right?
Yeah. Well, Greg said, look, they're behind, and that tells me that it's not really vetted yet.
Right.
I don't want to bolt it onto a $110,000, $120,000 car, and I wouldn't. So remember, the theme of the giveaway for me has always been, I'm going to set up the car the way I would set it up.
Mm-hmm.
And in theory, I'd love to have the 100 horsepower.
Right.
But I wouldn't put it on the car now, and so I decided not to do it. So I told Greg, I said, look, forget it, trying to get it. I'm not going to be able to get it in time to video it anyway. So I'm not trying to be cheap here. I mean, I spared no expense doing this thing.
Right.
And so I decided not to do it.
All right. So El Capitan says, has this happened before in other years? No, this is first time.
No, I mean this.
So the issue is, as Tommy explained, we developed this thing. Bryce developed this thing with a really sharp app guy, and then he sold it. And so now we're dealing with a bigger company now that the support on it's not quite as good. They don't know quite how it works. So
I think this will probably be my last giveaway, and figures the last one.
Right. Exactly.
Should be not good.
Yeah. And then Dimitri says, why don't we just reschedule for Monday? So we might have to do that. We're just
we're hoping that he can figure it out between now and then.
Right.
But between now and the end of the podcast.
Right.
But I just want to prepare you in the beginning to not be too disappointed. It's good though. It's like you get to dream about all weekend that I'm gonna call you and you're gonna get this freaking thing. If you're looking on the bright side, if you're looking on the negative side, you say these guys screw everything up. Well, that's true. Sometimes they do. That's okay. It's part of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm used to dealing with the fallout, with the negativity.
So how's the garage this week?
The wall's done.
Yeah.
And
the tile wall.
Tile wall's done.
Yeah.
I got 1.5 more drawers done. I've been kind of bouncing back and forth between home theater and my home theater and that. Let's see. So now I can start to at least got my cars back in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
So
you got to get that GT4 off the driveway.
Yep. So
neighbors will complain.
The cars are out of the driveway, which is good. I figures I got my rental garage back the day that my garage was done.
Of course.
So that didn't help me. And so the next step would be just to get things cleaned up and organized. I've got to go in and do a deep cleaning of the mudroom. I still have not done a deep cleaning of the mudroom. Just get everything dialed.
Right.
Then I'll rip out the Swiss tracks. So in the next week or two, I'm going to rip out the Swiss tracks and put some new freshies in there. And it's already sold, so don't get your hopes up. I sold the one
slightly used, slightly dirty Swiss tracks.
clean on your own Swiss tracks,
Right.
which most people would be happy to do to save 50% off of a Swiss tracks, and then I'm just going to keep working through drawers and working through the organization. I got to set up the audio, the TV.
Are you doing the same white border on the Swiss tracks? Or are you doing something different?
I don't have white, so I'll probably just use the black.
Black. Okay,
Yeah.
so black and gray.
Yeah, I like the white though.
Yeah, it looked good.
But I'm probably
it didn't get that dirty. I thought it was going to get a lot dirtier than it did. Is it pretty dirty?
Yeah. But you'd have to look straight down.
It's not noticeable.
No. Yeah. For normal people, it would be fine. For me, it feel like it's been used and abused and no longer viable. So I'm gonna start over. I have like a pallet and a half of Swiss tracks, so I'm not gonna make the cuts.
Right.
So I'm just gonna pull out all the full tiles, put them in the same box that I take it out of.
So you're gonna have dirty cuts? Is that what you're saying?
I'll dust them off, but the cuts are all the way on the edge, and so the edge.
So you can clean those out.
Yeah, so I'm going to clean those.
Okay, all right.
Because I can't pull them from underneath the cabinets anyway, so I can go up to the cabinets and just dial it in.
So we had some new faces in OG this week, or a new face in this. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I've selected my COO, Mark, and so he came and spent a few days this week just kind of deciding he wanted to come here, and two, meeting the team and seeing where we're at and start to compile. Ops guys, they do everything based on a plan, and so he's got to build his plan. What's the plan? What's the proposal? And then I'm on we pretty much come to an agreement, but on the CFO, and so we'll have our staff, our support, leadership support will be installed, and then it's off to the races. Hopefully, that's the plan.
That's right.
Yeah, so that I had over 300 applications on LinkedIn of each job, and I did a dozen interviews of each, and then multiple interviews with several other people. So I probably did about 35 interviews in the last first, second, third interviews in the last month, and then made a grown up selection here.
Yeah, I mean that was almost a full-time job for you, just between two candidates, or two positions.
Some days I had 3-4 hours of interviews a day. Yep. Yeah, so that's it. But I think it'll be well worth it in our next organizational structured step, where we're gonna hopefully we'll have stuff like this won't happen again, because we're gonna be operationally excellent.
Right. So Benjamin asks, why do you think this will be the last giveaway? Too much of everything?
So, a giveaway, the original premise for me was a couple of things. One, I'd like to find new people that I haven't come across yet that might be interested in what I'm doing. Two, selfishly, I could buy a car, over modify it, and then not lose money.
Right.
And so if I was gonna break even, I'd be happy. And then hopefully the third was, maybe I could make a little bit of money on the deal, and so we've made money on every single giveaway, but it's a lot more work than it's probably worth.
Right.
If I diverted the resources that we invest in a giveaway, because to create the products, to create the website, have a whole team trying to get the data together.
Yep.
I mean, we haven't done the analysis of what is the actual cost.
Yeah, we do a lot of work. I mean,
it's
the product team sets up a bunch
of
products. Right. We got to order them. We got to manage them. Get them in inventory.
Right. Yeah. And then what does it actually do to sales? Does it bring in more sales? Does it cannibalize sales? What does it actually do to our performance? And it's also become kind of played out. Now there's lots and lots of people that do it, and I just feel like it's run its course. And so I wasn't going to do this one, but I committed to this one like 3 years ago.
Right.
And so since I was committed, I stuck to it and finished it off. So, but it's not fun for the staff. It's not fun for me. And I guess it is fun for me.
Yeah, it is. You get to play out a car. Come on, what are you saying?
I get to play with cars and buy all the stuff and have an excuse. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
All right. Let's see here. Nico, I think it's Nico. When will you have the new leather products?
We're not sure. I mean, we were expecting August, but
Yeah.
it's probably more like October.
They're working on labels, translation, all that. We think that the material's made, but the
Right.
packaging's not finished.
Correct. So they had to order labels, and
Yeah.
that apparently it takes 6 months to get labels. But when you're ordering labels in Germany, it probably does take 6 months.
Yeah, and it's vacation time right now.
Yeah.
It's summer, so it's summer vacation time in Europe.
Yeah, 2.5 months of vacation.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. AR630 review. I have one on order. Would love to see a proper review. Do we have a?
I don't do reviews, so you're not going to get it from me. But I do use stuff, and we have a testing video.
Right.
We have an initial impression wash. Isn't that video's already up, isn't it?
The wash and talk's up.
Yeah.
Right.
Use it on, just sitting on the side. I am going to do a maintenance video on it here soon. We're going to tear it apart and show, figure out how to change the oil and seals and all that stuff. I was going to do a Krenzla AR comparison test. And then we're going to set it up as duals.
Right.
So we're going to do a dual test as well and decide if I'm leaving it or, putting the Krenzlas back in.
Yeah, I think we had 3 videos kind of staggered, one every week. So there's definitely more AR.
But it's legit. I mean, the question is whether you'd buy it over a Krenzla or not. I said this before. I think you should go with your gut.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my gut still prefers the Krenzla, even though it's inferior in result performance.
It's an intangible preference.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep. I mean, a Corvette outperforms a 911 GT3 in pretty much every measurable way. It's cheaper, got more horsepower, faster on the track, faster on the drag strip.
Right. All right. So this is interesting. So for those on YouTube that maybe don't know, we're doing a dual stream today. So we have an Instagram stream and the YouTube stream. So we have an Instagram question. Are the big plans at HQ being scrapped?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
What big plans?
I don't know. Maybe, was there any clarity on that, Andrea? Okay. Well, maybe we can talk about, we did make some changes this week, right?
Yeah. So we're making some progress. I mean, they started my office. So the first office was done, paint, drywall repair, paint, pull the carpet out, do some basic lights and then carpeting and baseboards. And so coat of paint, dust it up a little bit, spend, $500 on the room and get it done. And so Mike's guys, Trevor and Justin, are kind of working through room by room. And so they started on my office this week. They also were waiting to double check on the next rain to make sure that the roof patches. We're kind of nursing the roof.
Yeah.
And then we can finish the conference room. We have the conference room table. We have 3 of the 4 walls done, with the last wall needed some drywall repair or replacement. So we just want to make sure there aren't any leaks. We don't have to do it twice.
Yeah.
And so the office stuff is starting to get together. We just moved all of our assembly and bottling into what was going to be my garage studio. And then, so the garage door's in, the sprinkler system is relocated. It's all dialed.
Pallet racks are up.
Yep.
Everything's off the ground.
Yep. And
it's great.
Matt sort of planted a bug in my ear, said, you kind of need a studio here. And I was like, yeah, I'd really kind of like that.
Yeah, but Matt's idea was, let's put it over at a different spot.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm looking at what's the path of least resistance here. Where can we do the least amount of work? We just put a garage door in.
Yeah. We
don't have to do anything other than change where we put stuff.
Right.
And so we're going to pull out half the stuff in what was going to be my garage that then became the assembly area and bottling area that's now going to become 50% my garage.
Right.
And so we're going to put Nussbaum scissor, Nussbaum 2-post, because we need to do some 2-post work.
Yeah, I think that's going to be, there's some killer Nussbaum 2-post
MSS
lists.
Plus.
Yeah.
We'll probably do our new OG linear lights that we're going to have to do, because we've gotten guidance from Cree that they're going to be discontinuing the LS fixture, which is stupid. We've been fighting that anyway, trying to get the lead times under control.
Yep.
So we're going to be doing a sort of a modified. Now it turned into 48 feet wide, 28 feet deep.
It's kind of a slight replication of the yarn building, right? I mean, that's kind of similar.
Yeah, but I'm doing MSS Plus.
Yeah.
It'll be a little bigger than the yarn building.
Is it bigger? Yeah. Well, you keep sliding it over.
I have 83 feet to work with, and I keep stealing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to end up taking 2/3 of that, and we have plenty of space.
Right.
So currently
there's no lack of space in this building.
Right.
It's just not set up to use.
So we have our home theater demo room. We'll have some nice offices as we start to put those together. We'll get the area done where all the guys are hanging, where they're stationed.
Yep.
Get that dialed, change the lighting and the carpeting and kind of how they're set up. Put some walls in, get some more offices, and so I would guess in the next year this place will look remarkably different.
I agree.
But one of the things I think would be really useful is to have an area with a lift.
Well, yeah. One of the downsides with having your garage down in Middleton is even the product guys don't really have a space to go test things and set things up, and you do, but the product team doesn't. So this is kind of killing two birds with one stone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm going to do MSS Plus in there, Lev Rack, Nussbaum, Swiss Tracks. And then we'll probably put MSS. So we'll put MSS Plus back there and then MSS up front. So we're going to leave the lobby as kind of our showroom.
Yep.
And then that will be still functional showroom, but then I'll have another functional area out
and
back.
That's good because it's the MSS is a little bit more compact, and then that room's a little bit tight with a car in there. So yeah.
And then I would keep my GT3 and my GT3 RS and M3 up here probably, or something like that.
Yep.
And that's my plan.
Cool. Get on that.
I'm Chris. I'm working on the design right now.
You need something to do now the garage is done.
Yeah.
Or else you'll be ripping out the garage again.
I have another couple of weeks worth of work to do to get my house set up. But home theater's almost done. I got all the last acoustic treatments. I got my couch, got my rug.
So what is, maybe for everybody, because you've changed it a couple different times, what is the home theater setup?
So 97-inch G2 LG OLED.
Okay. And you got that. You didn't like it when you first put it in, but you got it.
I needed some software
adjusted or something.
It looked terrible.
Okay.
Yeah. So it hasn't been calibrated yet. I need to get some more hours on it. And I bought a MadVR NV Core, so that should be here in a couple of days. So that's a processor, like scalar processor for it. And so it's going to be it's MadVR NV Core, Marantz AV20 preamp processor, which I just got yesterday. So I'm putting that in this weekend. Right now it's running on the Cinema 30 receiver. So I've got the AV20, a Buckeye Pascal Class D 3-channel amp for the front 3. And then I have the 8-channel for the rears. So it's 7.2, so 2 subwoofers, discrete subwoofers, and then 4 heights.
Okay. And what speakers are you running?
And so they're JTR. So I decided to do, we were going to put the subwoofers in the wall, but I can't do it because the way the studs
they won't fit, right?
And so I was back and forth, 37 different iterations, and I finally came up with the strategy is I was going to do 4 of the new Kalos 12-inch JTR subwoofers are coming out, and then just stick with the floor standing speakers. And so I decided to do I was trying to figure out what to do, and so I had 4 JTR 2400s, which are 30 inches tall, 30 inches deep, and like 22 inches wide. They're massive.
I'd be able to hear them at my house, I think.
Yeah, it's not about the volume; it's about the how low they play, and then I turn them down. Yeah, and so because I can't put them in a wall, I'm like, I got to get rid of these. I'm going to do smaller ones. But then I was back and forth on what speakers I was going to do, and so they make a monitor with 210. So it's called a 210 RM. So it's a monitor, not a RT. Is the tower, which is a floor standing speaker. Yeah. So the monitor is like, I don't know, 30 inches. 32 inches long versus the tower is 45 inches tall, 48 inches tall. And so what you want is you want the horn at ear height, roughly.
Yeah.
And so the towers are designed to stand on the floor, and the horn, fires at your ears. And so I have these giant subwoofers that are 30 inches tall. I'm like, oh, I can't put the speakers in front of the subwoofers because then they're like in the middle of the way,
right,
in the middle of the room. And so what I was going to do is get the monitors, do that, and sell the floor standers. So instead, I'm like, how don't I just flip the floor standers, take the feet off, flip the floor standers upside down, and put them on top of the big subwoofers. So I could get the big subwoofers and keep the towers and get the tweeter where it needs to be. And it's perfect.
You built a combo speaker subwoofer system.
Yeah, it's insane. It's freaking giant 18-inch subwoofer and the freaking, it's dual 10s, and I love it. It looks ridiculous. And so I got my GIK acoustics, acoustic treatments yesterday. So I got to put 5 on the ceiling. I'm going to do that this weekend. I'm switching the lighting to DMF. And just for fancier lighting, I'm going to do some of the DRD4s, which are the adjustables. So I'm going to put 2 of them on the side, like right overhead where you would sit, so I could dim those if you were work on a computer or something like that. And then I'm putting 2 of those above my desk because it's a little shadowy because I don't have the window up there anymore. So we're going to improve the lighting. I've got a new rug from Pottery Barn. I got my couch from Lazy Boy. I did an L-shaped sectional, which turned out great. And so I'm going to get the rug up there, the acoustic treatments done, the lighting done, and then my home theater's done. I got 4 more subwoofers on order. So those 4 subs, I did order the Kalos. What I will probably
those are the little subs, right? Smaller subs, or
smaller, yeah. And so what I'm probably going to do is take those 4 and do them near field and just firing into the back of the couch. So when those come, I'll probably add those to it. But I got the AV20, the Buckeye amps. The other thing I put up there is I've just bought the AI Pro cameras from Ubiquiti to put in the corners, firing on the front of my house and one on the back.
Okay.
And so I bought a video recorder NVR from them, so put the NVR up there as well. And then I have the Kaleidoscape, so an Apple TV. So it's going to be pretty sick.
Cool.
Yeah,
a lot going on in that little.
Yeah, but very simple room. Like I'm not doing I didn't change the room at all. Just adds a bunch of acoustic treatments. I'll probably add too many, but it sounds good, looks good, it's fun. It's like same thing as bolting onto your car. I'm just doing a bunch of bolt-ons. I'm not pulling the motor and doing cams and engine tuning and running E85, and that would the equivalent would be taking the drywall down and doing riser and theater seating. I just wanted a couch with a bunch of speakers, and that's what I like.
Now, your desk is all dialed in at the back of the room and everything?
Yep.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so that room will be done.
All right.
My outdoor kitchen is done.
Yeah.
I ordered the polywood furniture, so that'll be here in a couple of weeks. The glass enclosure around it, I did glass windows around my outdoor kitchen because it's just soaked and dirty all the time.
Right.
And so that gets done next week. My Rogue Fitness, my functional trainer for the outdoor patio arrives Tuesday next week. And so my house is rounded out.
You got a lot going on that back patio.
I placed the order for my laundry room cabinets. That will be 15 weeks out. So we're moving.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
That's why I need a new project, and so the new project is going to be here.
Need a new garage.
Yeah.
All right. So BMX, if the team calls a winner and the winner doesn't answer, will the team send an email or text with a deadline to reply? So,
no, I mean, I guess I'd give them a couple of days. I've never had an issue with that.
We always get a hold of them.
And they call me back, next day. Any updates? What are they saying? No chance.
I think Bryce is still hopeful. They, let's see here. It says it's taking them about an hour to import. So it's probably going to depend on how long we go and if the import comes in clean. So we're still hopeful. There's still a chance. We had another giveaway question here. Let's get down to that. Oh, yeah. So Mark asks, what happens if the winner can't afford the taxes? I don't think that's our issue, right? They'd have to
your problem.
Sell the car, right?
Yeah.
You'd have to sell the car and
get a title
pay
loan.
Your tax bill.
Right, get a title loan.
Right.
I'm in the grown-up business here. I'm not doing baby stuff. And so if you don't have the 25 grand to pay in tax.
Yeah, sell the car and
either get a $25,000 loan on it.
The car's worth way more than the tax, so that's not going to be an issue.
Yeah, so sell the car and pay your 25 grand in tax, and keep the $90,000 and change your life. That's what most people do anyway. They usually keep it for a year,
right?
And then when they're and then do a file for an extension, and then when your tax bill's due, then sell it. You get to keep a fun car for a year.
Enjoy it. If you really love it, you figure out a way, and if you don't, you sell it, right?
Right. And I'm sure, you sell the car, for 100 grand and 110 grand or whatever you think you can get out of it. And then you buy yourself a $75,000 M3 or something, and you paid your tax, you pocketed 20 G's and got yourself a awesome car.
That's right.
Or, most of the people, just pay the tax, pay the 20, 30,000 bucks in tax. And, for some of these people that have won, they're paying $50,000 in tax.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I get it. But I don't. The stupid concept of giving the car plus cash is an infinite taxable loop.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you 30 grand extra. So now you got $170,000.
You got to pay tax on the 30 grand.
Right. And so now you're going to have to pay tax on the 30 grand. And then what am I supposed to give you more money to pay 10 grand to pay the tax on the 30 grand, and then 3 grand to pay the tax on the 10 grand. And then 1 grand to get, it's freaking stupid.
Yep. Yeah, Luke says we should rig it to Florida so we don't have to ship it. But
we've had several Florida winters, 3 maybe.
Right.
I mean, it makes sense that Florida, California, New York, Texas would be the major purchasers.
It's just numbers, right?
Yeah. But and I've always had a feeling that someone in Canada is going to win, and they didn't, and so maybe this time they will. And we got to figure out how to ship it across the border.
Right. So MR says, what's the status on Krenzel Ultimate Portable packages out of stock? So I had John help me out on that. There's a couple parts that we're looking to get in, and it's a couple weeks out. So just hang tight.
Can you reserve your spot?
I don't know. No. Notification system.
Who made that decision? Because I sure as heck didn't.
We'll go look at that.
Yeah. Turn it back on.
But a couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. That's what you're looking at. So let's see here. We answered that. It says, let me put it up. James says, hey, Matt, I'm looking to get into a Porsche here next year. I'm looking at the 981 Cayman S or GTS. Any thoughts?
Let's see. The 981 was the 2016-ish version.
Yep.
I mean, that's a great car, because it's naturally aspirated still. You just don't want a freaking 2-cylinder turbo, in a Porsche.
4-cylinder turbo.
Yeah, that's a 4-cylinder turbo in a Porsche. You don't want that. I was thinking 2-liter, 2-liter turbo. Yep. Yeah, I mean, that'd be a great fun car, especially if it has to be manual. It can't be PDK.
That's right.
The PDK is going to be bore you to tears. The only PDK that I would be willing to deal with is a PDK S and like GT car, where it's still violent and clunky and
it feels like a manual. You're just not putting the clutch in.
Right. But the like my GT4 RS, you have to kind of feather it to get going.
Yeah,
because it's
like I stalled my Spider the other day pulling in the garage. It stalled.
Yeah, right.
I was like, well, that's weird, but and
that sounds ridiculous, but that is what makes it better.
Yeah, it is.
Because you're in full control.
Right.
It's not going to kick down on you. The only thing is it won't let you money shift it.
Right. It protects you.
Yeah.
All right. So, Obsessed Detailing Solutions. I took a gamble last year and moved my business from Columbia, South Carolina to Charlotte. These past few months have been very tough. Do I give up and move on or try to push through at year 7?
It must be talking about a detailing business.
Yep. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, Obsessed Detailing Solutions, so I'm assuming that's what he's doing.
Well, I think it depends on what you're doing. So a common theme in business is to prepare to do business, not to actually do business. Yeah. And so if you're...
But he said he's been in business and he's moved. So what we don't know is... What we don't know is, was his business in Columbia successful, and so he's struggling in the new location, or... Well, he moved the business because it wasn't successful.
I pick it at, well, first of all, if you're alone, it's not a business. You're just a service provider.
Sure.
A business, you have to have employees. There's got to be more than one. And so I know that people call it that, but you're in a sole proprietorship.
Yep.
And so if you packed up and moved, you're going to start over, right? And so you don't have a referral network, you don't have any customers. And so then what a tendency for a lot of detailers would be, and I'm not saying he did this, but this would be a tendency. I got to get my shop all set up, or my garage, wherever I'm going to do the detailing, or I got to get my van all dialed in. I've got to get all my signage good. I got to get my website perfected.
Right.
And so you spend weeks and weeks and weeks getting all prepared.
Yep.
When what you should have been doing was going and shaking hands and phone calling, whatever you're going to do to network, which is the sucky part, especially if you're not very outgoing, to go out and, offer to wash cars for free.
Yep.
You're going to figure out what is your plan. And then another mistake, let's say that you decided, all right, I'm just rolling with what I got. So my advice is always roll with what you got.
Yep.
And so you roll with what you got, you show up, and you're going to go hit boots on the ground, and you're going to pick a strategy. Whatever that strategy is. Let's say it's 3 different things. And then none of those things are going to work right off the bat. And so you can't do those 3 things, and then the next week you're going to do 3 different things, the next week you're going to do 3 different things, the next week you're going to do 3 different things. Unless that was your strategy and you come back around and do them all over and over and over again. You need to continue to do it.
Yep.
Nothing works right away, but everything works if you put enough effort into it. Like they say with dieting, every diet works.
Right.
As long as you stick to it.
Right.
And so, unless you're eating, Snickers bars.
Well, but that's
not a diet, right?
Well, it could be, but it may not be a very fruitful one.
Right. And so if it's not working, ask yourself, what have I done to go make it work?
Scott and I, we advise new shops setting up for dry ice, and this is actually the most common issue we come across.
Sure.
Buying the equipment,
I gotta have the
doing
best
the
equipment.
work.
I gotta have the best.
None of that
car.
is the hard part.
I gotta have the best van.
The hardest part is getting people through the door.
Right.
And it's the hardest work because it's out of your control.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's uncomfortable.
But you have to do it. You have to. So the way you have to think about your business, if you're just starting your business, is you're going to have like 5 hours worth of work, but you still have a 60-hour work week. Right. You've got to work. The 5 hours you might be cleaning cars, which is not enough to fund your business, is just a piece. The other 55 hours, you have to be out marketing, generating business. To your point, my first question would be, have you washed every car in your neighborhood? Like, have you met every neighbor?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's to me, detailing is a referral business, right?
Oh, for sure. And once you get in with a couple of people,
yeah, it magnifies or it amplifies.
Right,
so one person recommends to one, that one becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, and it's exponential. So, at the end of the day, that you just gotta do more work and get out and touch more cars and more people and get a percentage of them.
And where it becomes a business, not just a sole proprietorship or a service, single man service job.
Yeah,
is when you get to the point to where you have 60 hours of work, but you're still marketing for 60 hours. How do you do that? Can't do it. There's not 120 hours to work with here.
Right.
And so now you got to hire some people.
Yeah.
Right. And so now you have a business. And so I think that, I wouldn't abandon anything. If that's what you want to do, you got to just go out and change your strategy. Now, some people, if he's already in business, he's already done it before. He knows how to do it. It just some people just don't have it.
Yeah.
There's not. You can go out and you're awkward and weird.
Every market has a market for detailing. So we know that it's not like it's not a business opportunity. It is an opportunity
for sure.
So it's really about how much work you want to do to get it done, and that's a very personal decision.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. If you're tired and you don't want to do it, and then you got to go work for someone else.
So I'll get a little anecdotal story of my life here. And so when I started in wealth management, they give you a desk and a phone and say, figure it out.
Right.
And a computer.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people would have a tendency to do is just, I got to figure out the computer.
Right.
I'm going to spend all day, every day for 6 months trying to figure out, how to trade stocks. But what's the point if you don't need anybody to trade stocks?
There's no money.
Right. Right. I'd always just.
You got to smile and dial.
I'm going to figure it out on the fly.
That's
I'll figure it out 5 minutes before the meeting, or I'll tell the person, look, I don't know this yet. Just be honest with them.
Mm-hmm.
And you can usually tell somebody, I don't know this twice, and then the third time you're out. But anyway, I had built the business cold calling, and so I decided I was going to cold call, and didn't work at first, and didn't work at second, didn't work at third, didn't work for 2 months, didn't work for 3 months, and I just kept doing it, and then eventually it started to work.
Yeah.
And it's not the most efficient way to do it. The more efficient way to do it is you have, charismatic, and you go out and you meet people, you meet and greet. But I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I'm going to be terrible at that.
Right.
So I had to make a decision. I'm going to do this thing that I hate doing. That and I can get good at delivering a script on the phone to make it sound like I'm not delivering a script, and I can do that on the first call. And then I built the whole process. And so in the first year, I made 10,000 dials. I talked to, I think it was, I think I talked to like 2,000 people. Of those 2,000 people, 800 said yes, they'd be on my mailing list. So I got a small yes for them. Of those 800 people, I had gotten 22 clients.
Yep.
So that was like, what is that, 0.022% penetration rate or something like that per dial.
Right.
And so, but it was, it's a decent percentage of people who said yes to me, and a decent percentage of people who pick up the phone that I talk to. Because of those dials, only 20% actually picked up the phone. And so then I had a young guy, athlete, my friend Daniel. I hired him, and he came and started working for me, and I gave him the same formula. He was the second guy that I hired, probably 10 people between me and him that just didn't do it.
Right.
It either washed out. A couple of them got lucky, where one of the advisors left and they got enough clients to make it through the program. But I brought him in, and he was doing it. He was making the calls.
Mm-hmm.
He was just charismatic enough to convince him to, make the 10,000 dials, get the 2,000 people to pick up, read the script, get them to say yes to some mail, follow up with the mail, do the whole thing. And so then Daniel was doing well, and so he got into like the Rockstar program or whatever, got into the elite training program for trainees, and he went to Atlanta. And in Atlanta, there's this big team. It's called the GCIS team, and GCIS managed all the Fortune 10 401ks,
right?
Like Coca-Cola and DuPont,
huge companies, right?
And so they managed the 401ks, and so they had a bullpen of young, just throwing paint against the wall trainees, but those trainees weren't cold calling. They were calling a qualified lead list.
Right.
People who retired. You retired from, your corporate, from Coca-Cola. You have a $3 million 401k,
right?
Which also means you probably have a $2 million, stock option plan. You have a $3 million brokerage account.
There's other money somewhere.
Right. You've got real estate, and so they're retiring, and you're getting a list of like 400 people retiring.
Mm-hmm.
And so all these kids that were working there for this team, all of the kids hadn't had to work for it.
Right.
So Daniel goes up there. So I was like, Daniel, they offered him a job, and he's like, you need to just leave, and I want you to be with me, but you need to go.
Right.
And so he moved to Atlanta. He actually ended up in the hospital because he worked himself. And this is like a jacked, looks like a supermodel. He's 6'8". He ended up in the hospital because he worked like 100 hours a week because he did not want to there was more leads than he could call.
Right.
And he was opening up 10, 12, $20 million a week. It took me
it was like
5 years.
It was like picking up candy off the ground.
Right. Right. And now he had to give like 50% of his revenue back to the team who owned the 401k. But still, 50%, he became $1 million producer. It took me, 12 years to become $1 million producer. And the only way I got there was because my partner retired, and I kind of bought
Inherited
that from him.
His guys, yeah.
And so he became $1 million producer in like 8 months.
Right.
And then, and so he was able to, he kind of lucked in. The moral of my story here is he lucked into getting that position, but then he worked like crazy. And so what could happen to a detailer, you happen to get the guy who has the collection in town, who is the connector, who knows everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're calling and you're taking care of a qualified leads.
Right.
Versus now he's in a town where he doesn't know that guy.
Yeah.
He hasn't stumbled upon it. He's not Daniel in Atlanta. He's Daniel in the Villages. And so Daniel in the Villages has like an 80% chance of failure. Daniel in Atlanta, all he has to do is show up and call like 2 people a day, and he's going to succeed. And so that's the same guy, same work ethic. Now he darn near killed himself. Now he travels the world and has a giant practice where he don't.
But I mean, the moral of the story or the recommendation is, if you want it, you grind it out.
Right.
I mean,
and recognize that sometimes it's not as easy as you'd like.
That's right.
And that sometimes, you luck out and you end up getting into this car club and it all happens easily.
Right.
The fish start jumping in the boat.
Yep.
But most of the time when you're fishing, you're not even going to get.
You got to learn the water before you get good at it. Right?
Yep. And that's part of life. And so I would never quit, if that's what you want to do. But also don't. I think it's technically still a business when you're a sole practitioner, but I wouldn't call it that, because what you don't want to do as a detailer is get stuck in doing everything yourself forever.
All right. So I just want to give an update. I'm getting texts from Tommy and Bryce on the back end here. We're still getting stuck on our June 6th date. So it looks like the tool we're trying to use is still having issues. So I don't want people to think we're dragging it on. It's not likely going to happen today. But what we will do is we should announce a makeup, and we'll come in and do the live live call, right?
Yeah, I want to do it right. I don't want to budget.
If they make it work in the meantime, we'll get that message out. But if you're just hanging on for that, I just want it.
Right. So we ran it from June 1st to July 15th.
Right.
And so it's exporting the data.
It's getting stuck.
It's
getting stuck on June.
Too many orders. It's filtering and it's clogging up. The software's crashing. So we may end up having to export and do it manually on our own, which would take.
It's going to take a while.
2 or 3 days to do. Yeah. It will take the weekend to get through.
All right. So we got a super chat. Kurt says, have you thought about releasing the YouTube videos early on Inside the Hex, like a day before they go live on YouTube? Love the content.
Yeah, I don't know that really helps people all that much. We've been talking a lot about the structure of how we're going to approach YouTube and sharing my life and sharing the business and how we share that. So we've been looking at my good friend Freddie Tavarish. He's been kind of consulting, helping me kind of think through how to. I mean, we have 600 something thousand subscribers, and we get an average of 15,000 views a video. Which, again, I've never cared about views, but the algorithm is nuking our ability to reach the people who even want to see the videos, largely because I'm all over the frickin' place. I'm sharing my life. I'm not sharing a single task. Where Freddie buys a crazy car and it seems like it's unrepairable, and he just does that formula over and over, sticks very specific to that niche.
Right.
And then he started another channel. If he wants to do anything off the cuff, he does start another channel. And because his main channel has such engagement, then the other channels are all successful too.
Right.
And he shoots them himself. He doesn't have editors. He's shooting on a regular basic handheld point shoot camera. He doesn't have like this whole beautiful production, and he's getting millions and millions of views. I think the service that we're providing and what we're talking about, and my ability to talk to a camera, should warrant, at least getting to the people who want to see it.
Right.
And so we're talking about, maybe taking the Linus Tech Tips path, where Linus, anything off of the core Linus, would go on to like the Short Circuit channel or some other channel.
Yep.
And so, we have 6 or 8 different categories of things that we do. We have the home stuff, home theater stuff. We have, detailing.
Right.
We have, just cars, garage, and so we have these different categories that it may make more sense. And then we have Inside the Hex. So it may make more sense to,
well, the current algorithm it really wants you to be more niche.
Right.
So that it knows exactly what you're serving, so it can serve it to the person that wants to see it.
Right.
Right. So
we even noticed that, like when I was doing the Adam LZ project, it was like same type of video, and so we had Adam's audience engaged, and it was getting pushed, and so we're getting 100,000 views a video because we were narrow. Now there's a risk there because we're turning off all of my car people, who want me to watch me detail.
Right.
So What's he saying? He said it made it to June something.
Oh, let's see here.
Or did he say it failed?
Still June 6th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think we're going to get, I don't think we're going to fix this in the next hour, unfortunately, or half hour.
Yeah. And it's Friday and all those remote workers at, at the viral sweep probably aren't interested in doing it.
Exactly.
Today.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think we're working through the process. Obviously, we'll be communicating that. And,
like we do this live and it nukes our channel.
Right.
This is why everybody takes the live streams or takes them, puts them up somewhere else.
And so our intent isn't to remove things. Our intent is to organize it better.
Yeah.
So that the algorithm's happy. And then, hopefully all the viewers or fans or customers are happy too, because they're getting what they're looking for.
And I think ultimately, the Matt Mormon channel, whatever that is, it's like Access Garage Extra, where eventually I don't have a paywalled vlog, but it's a vlog that's done for free to everybody. Yep. The main purpose of Inside the Hacks is to have an add-on to people getting, for them to getting a, for our best customers to go in and be able to pay for the service to get free shipping, priority shipping, 10% off.
Right.
And so I created the idea of a behind the scenes stuff. I also do like having the stuff I share there is much more personal.
It's a little hidden.
Yeah.
It's not out on the full interweb.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Junior says, I know Matt doesn't prefer a candy-like coating, but if I wanted to do one, what coating would I look for?
I don't know that there are many like that. I mean, I can't think of one off the top of my head. I think maybe is G-Technic C1 still available? I think they still make
the older coatings were kind of more like that, right?
Yes. So that is an older high solids coating.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking more like it's a more synthetic look, more, I can't think of, because they've all kind of improved the process. Because the problem with those type, that when they look that way, they're really hard to remove generally. Right. But I think G-Technic C1 would be a good candidate for what he's looking for.
Yep. Okay. Let's see here. Luke says, Matt, I get slight streaking with OG drying aid because it's so humid here in Florida, or could it be for some other reason?
Depending on how old his batch is, I mean, at times there's a gumminess to drying aid at times, where there's this like cottage cheese looking stuff. It's the only way you're going to get a streak. And so one way to fix that is, like for a while, we had to run it through strainers. Like my dad was literally every gallon running it through a strainer to get this sort of build up out of it. It's why I took the color and scent out of it, because it makes it really unstable, and you'd always have that happening all the time. So I mean, you just shake it really well, and if you have an old, we did have about, say, a year and a quarter ago, we had a couple of batches, and B&B doesn't know why. Like, I don't know if it's they were 2 degrees off in their titration plan or something. I'm not sure. But just make sure there aren't clumps in there, because that's the only thing. You get like a little ball of silicon dioxide and then it streaks.
Right.
Otherwise, it's like impossible to get the streak.
Yep. Robert asked where we're recording this from. We're in the photo studio at OG headquarters.
Yep.
Where's OG headquarters? We're in Central Florida, between Ocala and Orlando.
Yeah. The villages. Yep.
Let's see here. Chris says, wanted to hear Matt's take on the new active hose reel wall mount system. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
They did their own sort of all-in-one pressure washer with a hose.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I did talk to Eric at what's this company, Max Flow or something like that. He's gonna come up with a different name. Anyway, he's sending me a couple of them. when I first saw the website, I'm like, I'm not interested. But then I talked to him, and he's pretty sharp.
What is it?
It's a magnetic motored triplex pump.
Oh.
So it has this magna motor. I'm not sure what that means.
Right.
But it's a different type of. It's not induction or whatever the other. It's not a typical electric motor. It's a little different electric setup.
Right.
I think it's called a magna motor. And
what's the benefit of the motor design?
Durability.
Okay.
But it's more costly.
Yeah.
And then triplex pump, which would be technically much easier, serviceable, and more durable. So I don't know. We'll see. He's got a relationship with China, and I think he is of Chinese descent.
Right.
And but he's been in the U.S. his whole life.
Yeah. So it's a Chinese.
And so he has connections in family, and connections with the manufacturer and some proprietary tech. It looks interesting. So he's sending me this stuff, and he knows it's not like full. I mean, they're selling them, but it's not like the end all be all. And of where he wants to be.
Okay.
And so I'm kind of interested in digging into that and see if it's something that is viable on that mid-end cost.
All right. Well, says Sonny says, any update on pens and paper?
The paper, shoot, what is it called? Dang, I can't remember. The pen is the Signa Uniball DX from jetpens.com, 0.38. Okay. I like it. So it's not, there's a 0.28 and a 0.38.
I was say it sounds a little thick.
Yeah, the 0.28 is like,
it's too thin.
Yeah,
it's like writing with a needle.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I thought I would like that, but the point, it doesn't leave enough ink behind.
Oh, okay.
And so the 0.38 version of the Uniball Signo DX, and they have like 50 different colors, which is nice. Right. I bought like half a dozen of every color, so I have it in my desk.
So you got every color pen and every color ASIC shoe. Yeah. So do you match the pen and the shoe, or it's more random than that?
So I narrowed it down to the shoes that I like the most.
Right.
I'm sure people want to hear this one.
Of course.
So running, we might have to do a little searching here. It's Saucony.
All right.
Saucony. I think it's Saucony. Crap, which version is it? Saucony running shoes. They're like amazing. I've had like 50 pairs of running shoes. It's a Saucony Ride, I believe.
Ride?
Yeah. Let me see if that's right. Yeah. Saucony Ride 18. They're incredible. $145 a pair. I have 3 different ones. So I have the Saucony Ride 16s that I accidentally bought when I lost my luggage when I went to visit the ride company a year or so ago.
Right.
And it turned out to be my favorite running shoes. I would never buy a Saucony. That's junk. Well, they're incredible. And so then I'm like, I really like, I have all these fancy Nikes with the fancy, carbon fiber internal structure and the bounciness and all that bull crap. And I ended up choosing these by accident. It was the only shoes that looked decent there when I lost my luggage. And then I've been running with them and rucking with them ever since. So I got in real trouble because I bought like 13 pairs of shoes in like a day, and they all showed up at the same time. Michelle's like, what is going on here? So and I've been in search for the shoes that I like the most. So those are the running shoes. The everyday walk around shoes, there are 2 of them. And so I bought a bunch of New Balance, a bunch of Asics, a bunch of Nikes, a bunch of different shoes. And I figured out that I like the New Balance 440 the most. 440 V2, so that's what I have on today.
Yeah.
And so I bought every color.
It's like a skate shoe.
Yeah.
It's a skate shoe?
Yeah.
Okay.
New Balance skate.
Yeah.
And then I also like the Asics Japan Pro.
Oh, yeah.
And so I found every color that I could find.
So my system's not set up to share the screen. Are you able to share there, John?
So Asics Japan Pro, but then I'm buying the what is a sweet feet? What are they called? Super feet. Super feet insoles. Because the 440s have a decent feel, decent insole,
right?
But the Japan Pros, I'm buying, and so I bought one of each of the Super Feet inserts. They have green, they have purple, they got all different colors, and so I put all the different styles. So I ordered 2 sets of each, like 5 different, so 10 different insoles, and I'm putting all those insoles in the different shoes to figure out which ones I like the most. The green one is for high arch. I have like a medium arch. And then the purple one or the blue one is like medium arch, and then they have a high cushion, and then they have a memory foam. And so I have them all in different shoes, the 440s and the Japan Pros. And so I've kind of narrowed down my shoes to primarily those. Yeah.
Okay, zoom us in there, John.
I like it. I think it's pretty sweet. And so I've culled a lot of my shoes, cleaned them out. I also have the Nike Air Max, like the 2017s. I have several of those, but I've gotten my shoe game narrowed down to what I like.
So here's the question: shoe brand, sock brand. Do you violate the combination?
Oh yeah, I only have one kind of sock, Under Armour. Just Under Armour,
You're that kind of guy. That's all right.
Yeah, one sock.
No, for me, it's got to match.
Yeah,
Nike
but you wear
sock,
like
Adidas shoe, Adidas sock.
You wear California, bro.
Puma shoe, Puma sock.
Yeah, you're California,
it's got to match.
Bro. That's a lot of. That's hard because what happens if Puma doesn't have good socks?
I don't worry about socks.
Yeah, I do.
I'm not obsessed.
I want it all to be.
Difference between not being obsessed and being obsessed.
What would you say you are? You're just moderately particular?
Yes.
Okay.
Discerning.
Yeah, okay.
I'm discerning.
Mm.
But I don't get wrapped around the axle about it.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I fired my lawn guy today.
You did?
Yesterday I found a new lawn guy. I was going to cut it 4 inches. And I've got my...
Well, you put all the stuff on it, so now it's going to grow, right? Because it wasn't... 4 inches, like that lawn's like 2 inches tall.
Yeah. I messed up, man, because I got the frickin' the fertilizer crap on my sidewalk, and it started raining when I was doing it, and it stained it. I don't think it comes off either. Not good.
Yeah, that's not no bueno. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. Andy says, "When's the design studio being built?"
So I just sent my LOI. Gino just got it today. So sent my LOI to Gino. He just got back from wherever we're traveling. Gino's the guy in charge of the villages. And so the LOI is your letter of intent. And so we've gone back and forth on that for 6 months.
Right.
And I've been kind of kicking the can.
Yep.
What I didn't realize is that my partner in this, Bryn, had already negotiated it to get me 8 months of construction time because the 4 months wasn't enough. So I was under the impression that when I signed the lease, I had 4 months to be open.
Right.
Before I start paying rent. And so what I didn't realize is that there's 6 months of rent abatement. So free, no rent.
Yep.
And Bryn he forgot to tell me this, but he had negotiated to get 8 months of build.
Right.
And the rent abatement and the build out stack.
Right. They're on top of each other.
So I have 14 months. Now I was like, now I can do this. So we can get, the core Obsessed Garage business firing on all cylinders. We can get our wholesale business coming along, rolling, started up.
Yeah.
And then we can focus in on the design studio and go from there.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at 2 more months of lease negotiations now to get the lease all legally structured and signed. Then I can start marketing and talking about it's coming. And so the goal would be then say 4 to 5 months after that, we start driving traffic to our front entryway here and start selling stuff here locally.
Right.
We'll have to start hiring installers and stuff like that and building out that process. And so hopefully we kind of smoothly hit the ground running into this place. And, my $150,000 a year rent is covered very easily. The rent is the easy part. It's all the staff that I need to carry and all the logistics.
Plus we have a big build out too. I mean, that's a big investment to build it out.
Yep.
So,
so we're looking at, 2027 open.
Yep.
But I also we're in talks of doing a really big car show, like something people would want to fly in.
Kick it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the hotel there will hopefully be open.
Yep.
And so the one in Eastport will certainly be open.
Right.
But we're talking about doing like a multi-thousand car, not a show, but like an event.
Right. And there's a lot of parking there. I mean,
I probably shouldn't say this, but we talked about the idea of a Goodwood type run.
Yeah. Close off
runway.
the street.
Yeah. Could you imagine Pettis Parkway behind, or we talked about you kind of close off that road. And there's that whole mound on the left side.
Yeah. Everybody could watch.
Yeah. You could stand on. It's like stadium seating.
Yeah. The old folks in the villages would have a conniption fit.
It wouldn't be good. Yeah. So I don't know if they'll let us do it, but it would be pretty sweet.
Yeah. That would be good though.
You imagine how cool that would be?
That would be fun. Yeah. And you get LZ up here, you could drift it, and Tavares could bring some cars. So yeah, it'd be fun. All right. So Phil asks, is new LE polisher the choice over Milwaukee?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep. I purposely haven't opened I only have a prototype, and so I haven't opened the production version because I'm going to do that on camera in the next couple of days.
Okay. Drew's saying, can I put the money in my 401k to avoid taxes for the Emira? I don't think so. It's too much money for that.
$23,500 limit.
That's right.
And then you can't, unless you had a custodial IRA, but even then you couldn't do that.
Right.
You can hold our alternative assets.
Update on the OG pressure washing cabinet.
We talked about that before this podcast. We have a few other odds and ends that we're going to be launching first. We got to get our shelves all dialed. We have the hardware to mount the shelves on the slat wall, which a lot of people have been asking about. We have a few things to get dialed in with our wand holders, I should say. We also have our garage track stuff we're working on launching, and then the DI is a much bigger project. So, but I would guess that the pressure washing solution with DI is probably 3 months out, something like that.
Yeah.
But we're back on the project.
Right. Yep. And you have the prototype you like, right? I mean, it's working well.
Yep.
Let's see here.
What's he saying about our giveaway here?
Let's put it up. Giveaway update. We're currently troubleshooting an issue with the giveaway software. Is soon to be resolved. Yep. That's just an announcement.
It's not happening today.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Yeah, no.
Let's see here. I lost. Obsessed Detailing, the fellow that asked about the detailing business, said he was very successful in his old city, struggling in a new city. I'd say grind it out. You know what you're doing. You have a business.
Yeah.
Just grind it out. We have confidence in you and get it done. You can,
Yeah, but transition your energy and effort from pretending to doing.
Right.
Going out and finding it.
Get out and meet everybody. The more people you meet, the more customers you'll have, and you'll solve your problem.
And it's got to be harder if you have some experience to want to do stuff for free,
Yeah, that's true.
You don't want to devalue your time.
Right.
But now your time has been reset. The value of your time has been reset.
Yeah.
So you need to think of it as as a beginner, as a starter outer. But you should have a leg up because you know what you're doing.
That's right. Yeah, you know how to run the business.
Yeah.
If you were successful in one city, you'll be successful in the other. You just got to keep grinding at it. Let's see here. Jack says, "Hey, Matt, have you checked out Cartech as a brand of polish and compounds?"
I think, is that the guy that Darren, let me see, Cartech. Is that the one that Darren Priest is involved with? Cartech Polish. Oh, no. Yeah, I've had this stuff before. Nothing really jumped out at me. It's I think it's a European brand, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I'm just not in the need for anything better. I mean, I couldn't imagine something being better.
Well, it has to be really better, right? Like I mean, it's getting harder and harder as you've narrowed it down through your curation process. Beating the number one is pretty darn difficult.
Yeah, and then there's a familiarity as well with how it works and performs.
Sure.
You know, Larry Cosilla, Kevin Brown have talked about this a lot. I mean, shoot, they were still using M105, 205 way long.
McGuire's.
I think they still use the McGuire's like 110, 210, and focus in on perfecting your process with one polish. And then continuing to, and I think there's some validity to that. You start jumping around all over the place. Now, I think those polishes are not good in comparison to what was available at the time, but I think if you apply that same principle to the best polish, it would take a lot because you'd have to reinvest a lot of time in figuring out what process worked.
Right. So we have an Instagram question. It says, you should build your car with Ryan and give them away. Team up with companies, not for sponsorships, but similar to what you would do with OG.
Yeah, I mean, when I was talking to him, Ryan, about it, said, you're going to be getting new cars every 6 months because I'm going to be having to live vicariously through you. Ryan, I got you a new FRS. Oh, no, I got you a new GTI. I got you an old school Integra DC5 Type R. I got you a DC2 Type R. I got you, and they get to live vicariously through him.
Yeah.
Duan, that's the paper.
Duan. Got it right. Okay, there you go. Let's see here. Trading for Science asks, will we see a mobile detailing package on the site?
No.
Yeah, we don't really cater to detailers, like professional detailers.
No.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
there's other companies that do that.
It's the same stuff though. There's no difference.
Right, but I mean, we're not going to teach you how to put a pressure washer in a van and a generator.
Raw the details.
Stuff. We don't do that.
Is the guy to go to.
We're not the experts on that.
Yeah, go to RALDA and watch his videos. He builds vans and stuff. That's where you want to go.
David says, Matt, what is your recommended ceiling height and depth for a garage when building?
I've kind of moderated on this. There's something cozy about a lower ceiling. If you're not going to put a lift in,
you need at least 12 feet.
You don't need it.
You need at least 12 feet.
But if you're building it from scratch, you can.
If you want to lift a car, you need 12 feet. That's why, to me, that's a criteria.
Yeah.
10 feet's okay, but I wouldn't want to have a lift with a 10-foot.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're not putting a lift in, I mean,
10 feet's great.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much the standard, 9 foot 6 or 10 feet.
And then the depth, how deep?
I mean, in a perfect world, it'd be 500 feet deep, right? So,
I was gonna say
as deep as you can get. But practically speaking, at least 22 feet deep.
Well, that's a minimum. I think 26 is like a really comfortable distance.
Sure,
because you can get 20 feet for the car, a little bit of walkway, and then cabinets.
I mean, mine before cabinets is 24 and a half.
Right.
And so mine is 22 feet, with cabinets, and it's pretty sweet. But I mean, sure, I would rather have.
But if you're gonna put a truck inside, it gets
then it's tighter. Yep.
So that's where the 20. For me, 26 if you got a truck.
Yep.
Let's see. Mark is asking an ego question: 765 CFM blower or Metrovac heated blower?
Oh, 765, but 880.
Right. It's
880.
880 is the new.
I never really loved the 765. I like the 580 better than the 765. Felt like the battery life wasn't as good, and something about how it moved air just didn't work as well for me. But the 880 is the new standard for sure. We have it in the store. But the whole filtered, heated. What's the freaking point? You're pushing air into air.
Right.
What do you filter? I don't understand what the filter part is. The filter is there for the vacuum.
Yeah.
To be able to vacuum stuff.
If your garage is that dirty, you shouldn't be cleaning a car in it anyways.
No, but I mean, you're sucking air. So air is from here 12 inches apart.
Right.
I'm sucking air in. That air is the same as the air that's in front that you're pushing the air into. And so unless you're filtering the whole place, then you're not filtering anything because you're pushing filtered air into unfiltered air.
Yeah. It's just, there's not enough volume of.
Unless you're in a vacuum and you're bringing in air from the outside, which of course you're not.
Right.
By the way, I got 4 Jaspers rolling now. You want to talk about awesome? You should get them. JASPR. is the air, filtration system.
Oh yeah. Your room air.
So I'm telling you, I
purifier.
cooked bacon the other night, and the
Right.
thing it turns red. It's like we almost feel like violent, like it gets angry, and just starts sucking, ramps up because it goes in smart mode,
Right.
and then the house doesn't smell like bacon.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Cool.
So I bought 2 more of them. So I have 4 of them.
Yeah.
I have 1 in Ryan's room, 1 in my room. I moved the one that I had next to my room out to the kitchen nook area.
Yeah.
And then 1 upstairs in the bonus room, and I need to get 1 more for Kate's room.
Would you put one in the garage?
I thought about it. Yeah, I might put 1 in there too.
Keep the dust down, maybe.
Yeah. So I guess I need to get 2 more.
Yeah, you need more.
Yeah, it's good though.
Mm-hmm.
But they're $1,200 a piece.
No Slow says no. New Balance. Did Matty just say he's getting another Corvette? Yeah, he's.
No. This is
jean shorts are coming as well.
Now, New Balance, these have come back around.
They look pretty good. They're not the traditional New Balance. It's more like it's definitely a skate shoe.
It's right here.
Yeah, there you go.
This is the leather one. It's pretty sick. Special edition. Look at that. Matches my Emira shirt.
Is it numbered? Special edition?
No. It's
signed.
440.
440 that's 440 V2 is the model. I think they're pretty sick, and I got them in like 6 different colors. And I look for every color that comes out to see if I can get a different one.
The cream shoelaces are kind of cool. I do like that.
And they come with 2 different colors. I think it came with black and cream, but this one's pretty sick. It's my favorite one because of the leather.
Mm-hmm.
Nice,
very nice,
real nice.
All right, let's get back to more interesting stuff. Mark says, for wheels, are you still recommending Sea Quartz Deluxe and then Gliss V2?
No, Armor wheel coating, okay. 1 or possibly 2 coats if you're feeling like you need it. Yeah, it's the best wheel coating, bar none, and no topper, just Armor wheel coating, and then use drying aid on every once in a while when you're drying them off.
Okay, Brian says, hey, Matt, I noticed that there's a high-level Diablo build with your name on it competing with Elon Musk. Is that you?
You're talking about a Lamborghini Diablo?
I don't know.
There's no way I can fit in a Diablo. Have you ever tried to get in one of those things?
Oh, Diablo game?
The game Diablo.
Ah, a video game.
Yeah. But what are you talking about, the build? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Competing with Elon Musk. I don't think that's definitely not you. You're not a video game guy.
No. My last video game was Joe Montana Sports Talk Football. I played a little bit of Halo.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of what was it, Bond back in the 2000s, and then Halo, and so Halo in the early 2000s, like 2003. I played a little bit of Halo, but that's it. I haven't video gamed. I tried to come back when like Uncharted came out, but it was just too complicated. Like Madden, there's too many buttons. Like,
that's the thing. My son was playing. I mean, he's 25, so he's not even young anymore. But he's playing like this first-person shooter game, and he's turning in 4 different directions. I'm like, I don't even know how. 8 buttons in 4 different directions, and like,
you just have to practice.
You have to grow up with it.
Yeah,
you really have to grow up with it. So, okay. Instagram question: how about launching your own PPF?
No, God, no.
Mm-mm.
That seems like a terrible move.
I mean, I don't know why anybody does PPF anyways, but that's just me.
Yeah,
that's just a waste of money.
Nope.
Just drive the car. Let's see here. Mark says, I don't get the appeal of spending $25K on garage cabinets. Can you put US General or Icon roller cabinet or tool cabinet next to some of the high dollar ones to show the actual differences?
Well, first of all, you're talking about a toolbox. It doesn't do the same function.
Sure.
Right. And they model those toolboxes after the worst toolbox, which is the Snap-on toolbox, which is the most expensive, which is the worst toolbox.
Right.
And it's not the absolute worst, but top 2-3 worst toolboxes.
It's actually maybe not a bad idea is to go get a new image cabinet and show the difference.
Well, I plan to do that forever. You buy New Age, you buy all these others.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the metal's metal, right? But you put thicker metal and better powder coating and better drawer glides, and and it gets expensive.
But I think the other thing that I think people don't focus on is Sonic, for instance. In my mind, you don't buy Sonic necessarily for the cabinet. It's a great cabinet, but I buy Sonic for the tools, and all the tools fit in the cabinet perfectly.
Right.
It's a system.
Right.
So I think that's the thing. Like, and this is one of the things where we talk about internally. We need to work on better. Is people come buy the cabinets, but they don't buy the tools.
Mm-hmm.
The tools are best part. You're missing out on the best part.
Yeah.
So if you guys have Sonic MSS or MSS Plus and you haven't bought any of the foams, I mean, that's the best part. Throw your tools away, buy the foams, and you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, or if you own a giant Snap-on collection, sell it.
Yeah.
And you can probably sell it, get more money, pocket some money, and then buy all the Sonic stuff. I mean, I don't think you're going to be disappointed.
I mean, when you roll that drawer open and all that stuff's perfectly organized. I mean, I know you love the tool grid and the process. I don't love that process.
Yeah.
But I love having organized tools.
I love both.
Right.
And so that's why I've got multiple garages, and so I like both, and I want to be able to do both. I almost gave up on the tool grid, but I realized how much I like doing it.
Yeah.
But it takes a special kind of crazy to, like, especially this time, I've labeled everyone.
Right.
Like every socket, every wrench is labeled. And so but I'm going to be hundreds of hours in.
Right.
Not only hundreds of hours, but also you'd have to have a unique skill, like a unique quirkiness to be able to sit there and do it and redo it again.
Right. Move it around.
But you also have to be willing to commit.
Yeah.
It's never going to be perfect. So you just have to commit to just put stuff somewhere. And you're always going to second guess where you're putting it. And so you can be the most highly organized person, but you also need to be able to take a leap.
Right.
It kind of takes a unique.
Yeah, you could freeze, right?
Yeah. You could just get paralyzed and say, I'm never going to get this done. I can't get it perfectly right.
Well, one of the hard parts, I mean, so I have Sonic, I have MSS Plus, but I have my, my big wide drawer on a 1540. Half of it's a Sonic foam, and the other half has stuff rolling around in it. Yeah. So, I'm going to go tool grid that out, but I'm literally stuck with where do I start? Right? Like, I know I can get the boards down.
Right. You're stuck, and you can just come here to the shelf and grab it. Right.
So I think we have to work on. I even went back and looked at some of our old videos, like how do you start it? Because I think it's one of those things. Once you start to play with it and figure out how things snap together and how things are arranged, it becomes a lot more.
We need an
intuitive.
AI. We need on the page. We need an AI tool.
Right.
Where you
tell it all the tools and it just hands you back a diagram.
You just scan a video of all of the tools that you have and then it hands you back here. Because really, you need at least the parts and pieces.
Right.
Like how many sets of tip holders and and multi-purpose. I mean, how many universal holders do I need? How many boards do I need?
Right.
And so, man, it could be really powerful. We can have a tool.
But the hard part is if you've never experienced it, like I don't know what holders to use. The shape of the holder. Do I do a corner shape? Do I do one of those little things? Like
that's just innate for me. That's the part I recognize that can paralyze most people.
Right. Yeah.
Doesn't make me better. It's just the way I'm wired.
Yeah.
It's like it's just innate. It just makes sense to me.
So Jack wants to see a watch collection video.
I don't really have a collection. I just
have a couple watches, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I got 5 Rolexes, an Omega, and a Tudor.
Right.
That's it. 6 Rolexes.
Peyton asks, for a drying aid, are you looking for a slickness or adding to the sacrificial topper?
Both.
Yeah.
I'm mainly looking for the look. What does it look like?
Right. Yep.
Does it look?
See, it's funny because I like the experience. When you dry a car with a drying aid, to me, it's a better experience to wipe the car.
Sure. It's important. How is the user experience of it?
Right.
Does it flash? Does it dry out? Like, does it streak? You want to make sure that it's a good experience.
But it makes, to me, I like it when the towel, glides over. It helps the towel glide over the surface and that sort of thing. Another Instagram question. Matt, how do you deal with buyer's remorse? I went to buy an Omega and backed out last minute due to always dealing with buyer's remorse.
I don't really have buyer's remorse.
You don't. You just sell it and move on. If you don't like it, you sell it and move on, right?
I get a different feeling. It's like a angst around over leverage or angst around going too far, you know.
Yeah.
But never like the item. It never has. It never. It doesn't have anything to do with the item. Because I don't give a crap about the item. I'll sell it and move on.
You just move on. I think that's what you just have to get comfortable with. That's your process, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then, you have to, it takes time, but you have to be cognizant. You have to spend time thinking through your process. Like what am I going to do here if this doesn't work out?
Right.
Because everything I buy, I assume I'm going to have for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's an exit strategy. You have to have an exit strategy.
No, I have to have a justification strategy.
Oh, okay. Oh,
right?
okay.
Right. And so I've developed a justification strategy because I got into cycling and I thought it was going to be for the rest of my life. And then when I realized one day I wake up and say, why am I doing that? And it hits me quick.
Right.
And then there's the relief. And so I think I focus on the relief of the exit.
Mm.
And I've realized I like the exit oftentimes almost as much as the pursuit.
So you said to me the other day, Kate was going to purge. What was the term you used? It was a big clean out day at your house the other day. What was the term? You remember?
No.
But that's a Mormon thing, like meaning.
Oh, we all take satisfaction in
getting rid of things, like
yeah.
cleaning out and reorganizing and simplifying is something that you get joy from, right?
Yeah, clean it out, get rid of stuff, organize it, get rid of things that you once thought you needed. That's what feels even better.
Yeah.
When you're like, there's no way, especially if there's something that like made the cut. Like with my going through my tools and retool grid, and I yanked a bunch of stuff out of there that made like 7 cuts.
Right.
And made it into my drawer and stayed. And I'm like,
don't really want that.
And I feel great. So I'm telling you, the 2 best feelings in the world for me are the pursuit of it,
right,
and then the exit from it,
right.
Because then I feel like it frees up more room to pursue something else,
right.
Like when I'm shopping, I've been on a major shopping spree here lately, shopping for shoes, shopping for towels, shopping just different things. And UPS has been flooding my front porch, and I've been having so much fun. It's even fun. I was unboxing fertilizer and a fertilizer spreader, and then my Marantz AV20s showed up, and then some speaker cables, and then always checking tracking. And I ordered a bunch of water. I ordered like 9 different glass water bottles to figure out which one I like the most. I like that. I like that process.
So Brian clarified. He says there's a guy named Matt Mormon who's at the top of the rank in the Diablo 4 server. We're over our head, Brian.
I got
Sorry.
you.
Yeah, it's just not.
Well, there's only one Matt Mormon, so somebody's using my name.
There you go. Matt says the carpenter or the jean shorts need to be for a carpenter, so you have a place to hang your quick detailer. Let's see here. Yeah. Another question from Instagram. Hey, Matt, is that a phone case? I guess they're looking at your phone. Your phone must be in
the Apple silicone. I like the Apple made stuff. Not
Steve Jobs rolls in his grave every time a case gets put on an iPhone.
Mm. Yeah, but it's their case and it fits perfectly.
Yeah, but Steve Jobs never would have sold it.
Yeah. And Mike copied me and did a purple one. He's always grabbed my phone and put it in his pocket.
Well, he did purple to match his car, the Barney.
Oh, yeah. I had it first.
All right. Another question from Instagram. How's the E92?
I don't know. It's sitting in Joe Pachette's garage and hasn't moved. Ever since I realized it was just the spark plugs, I'm like, sweet. Now I can sit. I don't care. It wasn't anything
We
else.
need to get a C-sucker. We'll put a bike rack on the top and drive it up to Santa's.
No.
Come on.
No,
Let's do that.
No?
Not going to do that? That's too stressful?
Yes. On the carbon roof? No way.
All right. Well, that's the end of our questions. I think we'll apologize for not having the giveaway mechanics working. So we'll get that fixed. We'll get the word out and we'll get back on the camera. And
I was looking forward to figuring out where we were shipping it to.
Well, you were wanting someone to come pick it up this weekend to get it out of your garage, right?
Yeah.
Get that space back.
Yeah. Well, we have to fix the alignment and
okay. So it wasn't ready anyways.
It'd be amazing.
We'll work on that. To your point, there's the randomness continues, right? So it's helping someone, the eventual winner.
All of you guys that weren't going to win can have nice dreams tonight.
That's right. You still have a chance.
A possibility of winning. Yep.
So
if you're looking on the bright side. On the negative side, it's going to occupy some space in my garage even longer.
That's right.
It hasn't left the garage, So this is what's sad is like my cars are sitting outside even while we're working,
someone else's car is inside.
Right. I don't like that. What's he saying? Yeah, no.
It's June 6th. Yeah, we're there. We've got a major technical issue to get it right and be fair and make sure we get a fair winner.
Yep.
So
anyway,
that's what we're working on.
We'll see you guys as soon as we're ready.
Yeah,
we'll let you know on Instagram, Facebook, maybe email,
and let us know if we did an Instagram dual broadcast today. If that was helpful, if people like it, we'll continue to try to do that.
See you guys soon.
Yeah.
Later.
Bye now.